Good afternoon. If I can have your attention, please, we're going to get started now. Welcome to our 2021 Small Business Awards. My name is Trish McFarland, and I'm honored to be the president of the Delaware County Chamber of Commerce and bring this event to you today. I'd like to welcome Catholic Community Choir. Please be seated. Having Catholic Community Choir open all of our events is one of my favorite things, and while we couldn't bring them here with you in person today, we're excited to have Amy Kate and her brother here today on their behalf, and to have CCC on the stage as well. So welcome, and welcome back. On behalf of the board, staff, and volunteers, we are so honored that you're able to join us to celebrate the accomplishments of these small businesses. As you probably know by now, this is our first signature event in over a year. Through a year spent reimagining what the Chamber looks like and working hard to keep members engaged, an in-person event seems foreign for so many months. Getting us here today with this hybrid approach was certainly no small undertaking. I'd like to acknowledge the Chamber team, Kathy, Kenny, Jacqueline, and especially Jess for making sure this all happened today. As well as our fantastic volunteers who jumped in to help run this event. This is truly all hands on deck as we planned like never before, and most especially the Active Image team. Mike and Jake for making our visions a reality over this past year. And I kind of got used to having the pre-recorded remarks because Jake accepted nothing but the best and would make me redo it. So I'm really grateful. But even more so, we were thrown a few surprises this morning, and Jake kind of worked with us and made everything happen. So we were really appreciative of that. So while this past year has been so challenging, it has also shined a light on the strength of so many communities, businesses, and individuals. We are honored to share some of those success stories today. And we are so fortunate to have the tremendous support of our sponsors that have believed in us over this past year, believed in our creativity to re-engage members and to be a leader in events. Without them, we wouldn't be able to bring you events like this. So our gold sponsors, Comcast Business, TD Bank, WSFS Bank, Bars, Gowie, Amon and Foltz, Crozier Health, Energy Transfer, SAP, Visit Delco, AmeriHealth Caritas, Brinker Simpson, LPL Financial, Meridian Bank, RCN Business, M&T Bank, the Foundation for Delaware County, River Avenue Digital, National Realty Corporation, Oliver Heating and Cooling, BHCU, Independence Blue Cross, and Delphera Heating and Cooling. Great relationships aren't built in a day. They are built daily. We have learned to understand that strong relationships, partnerships, and friends are the secret to our success, because success doesn't happen alone. I'd now like to invite Mike Rank, Chairman of the Chamber Board and President and CEO of the Community YMCA, to join me on the stage to introduce our boards.
Thanks, Trish. I think as a chamber, and we're all a part of that, you don't realize how much work went into last year by the chamber staff in not having events, but keeping the chamber relevant. So I'm going to ask everyone to please join me in re-thanking our chamber staff for keeping us vibrant, keeping us connected, and keeping Delaware County first. So it's my pleasure to recognize my fellow board members at the Chamber. Peter Adamo from Crozier Health, Michelle Garrity from PICO, Amy Kate Mooney, Catholic Community Choir, Mike Brady, LPL Financial, Jeffrey Brandon, TD Bank, Jim Byrne, McNichol, Byrne and Matlowski, James Burkhead, NSM Insurance, Steve Byrne, Visit Delco, Catherine Judge Cardillo, Trinity Health, Carl Churkin, Philadelphia Union, Nicole DeBaton Robinson, National Realty, Deanna Doan, Click Canyon, Mark Ernest, Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union, Brian Urey, Cabrini University, Jacqueline Gardner, Tomorrow's Utilities, Adam Gattusko, Monroe Energy, Grant Gegwich, Independence Blue Cross, Vince Gordon, the Gordon Policy Group, William Gowie, Bars, Gowie, Amon and Foltz, Sue Handel, Aqua Pennsylvania, Joe McGinn, Energy Transfer, Anthony Ryan, WSFS Bank, Dominic Savino, Drexelbrook, and Bob Simpson, Brinker Simpson. Please join me in thanking them. And to recognize the foundation board of the Chamber, Jacqueline Gardner, Tomorrow's Utilities, Ann Logan, Vanguard, Peter Bars, Bars, Gowie, Amon and Foltz, Louis Codomall, Mancini Codomall, Clara Burke, Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union, Larry Setlin, Setlin Design Group, Cecile Charlton, Consultant, Anton Della Orfes, Delightful Detail, Brett Doan, Click Canyon, Dion Douglas, Kimberly Clark, Patty Duffy, USA Payroll, Tom McGarrigle, Brinker Simpson, Ro Falcone, EDSI, Karen Kasachian, Delaware County Community College, Donna Marandola, AmeriHealth Cardis, Christy Purnell, Vanguard, Michael Steed, M&T Bank, and Mike Morgan, our Chairman Emeritus. Thank you to our foundation.
Thank you, Mike. While services and expertise have become more in demand, the outbreak has also highlighted the role of advocacy and ensuring business is adequately represented in the discussions around emerging government policy. We are fortunate to have great working relationships with all of our elected officials. And I'd like to recognize Senator Tim Carney, who's here with us in person today. Thank you for being with us. And I know that you have session in just a little bit, so when you have to leave, we understand. Thank you for all you do for us. So now let's get to the good stuff. I'd now like to introduce Grant Gegwich, Director of Corporate Communications at Independence Blue Cross, as well as the Vice Chair of the Chamber Board, to introduce our next award.
Good afternoon. I'm Grant Gegwich, Director of Corporate Communications with Independence Blue Cross. It is such a pleasure to join you virtually to present this year's award for Small Business of the Year. On behalf of everyone at Independence Blue Cross, we are proud to support the Delaware County Chamber of Commerce. As a media resident and a Chamber Board member, I know how important the families and businesses of this county are to Independence. The last year has been challenging, hasn't it? No matter what business you are in, we have all learned how to do things a bit differently. One of the biggest changes is how we all communicate. Almost overnight, we had to move away from in-person meetings and events to online. We quickly became accustomed, some more than others, to video and digital communications. Since not many of us were experts in these areas, we had to turn to people who knew what they were doing, right? People like the bright, hardworking people at Active Image Media in Springfield. Mike DiTrolio and his team have been helping organizations throughout the region since the 1980s. Today, Active Image Media is a full-service production company that helps businesses and organizations cut through the noise and to grow their brand with strategic, story-driven content. And as a small business, they work fast and efficiently. Their belief is that there is a story behind every brand that deserves to be told. I personally had the pleasure to witness the excellence of Active Image Media over the past year. At Independence Blue Cross, when COVID-19 hit, our associates made a sudden transition to work from home. This was a tough transition for many of them, and we wanted to provide strong, ongoing, and empathetic communications. Right after the transition, our CEO, Dan Hilferty, recorded a video from home to reach out to them and to stay connected. The first video was so well received that it grew into a regular series of videos from Dan, his successor, Greg Devins, and other executives across our company. The videos combined important messages with personal touches and humor from locations throughout the region. The constant thread of our production, of course, was Active Image Media. Mike and team have a way of making even the most nervous executives feel comfortable. They're skilled at getting the story across. The quality of work is excellent, and their turnaround time is so fast. Secondly, I've seen the outstanding work that Active Image Media has done for the Chamber. Events are at the heart of the Chamber's work, and when Trish and her team realized that the pandemic was going to be longer than a few weeks, they knew that they had to find a way to keep events going. Active Image Media took the Chamber's ideas and made them come to life. The events have had more engagement than ever before, and we owe a lot of that to the creativity, patience, and guidance of Active Image Media. And that's just two organizations. Throughout Delaware County, Active Image Media is helping businesses survive and to thrive. They're making events happen. They're helping businesses communicate and to tell their stories, and they're doing it so well. That's why it is my immense pleasure to congratulate Active Image Media as the 2021 Small Business of the Year. Congratulations.
I've had the privilege of working with Active Image Media for over 10 years now on many professional and personal projects. From their dedication to Catholic Community Choir, videoing many of our performances, providing photography, to their work with Cardinal O'Hara, providing many commercials, Active Image is always there for us. They go above and beyond.
So I've been involved with Active Image Media and utilizing them as a photography and videography company for probably 30 years. I'm president of the Springfield Youth Club for 6 years. Active Image Media has always taken all of our photos for the kids, videoed all of our games. Mike's team at Active Image is very professional, always responsive. The company is always available to help out with community activities, community events. Active Image has become a fabric of our community in Springfield, and it's just a wonderful part of everything that we try to do for our town.
I've worked very closely with the team on a number of photography initiatives as well as video initiatives. They represent the small businesses of our community in a way that no one else does. This is a great recipient.
There's nothing better than a family business, a small business. And from one small business to another, I can't begin to thank Active Image for all they've done for me and for my organization and for O'Hara. No one deserves this more than Active Image.
How about that? Well, after that, I don't think I need to say anything else. But thank you so much, everyone, for being here. It is quite an honor to be selected this award for this year. I'm obviously more comfortable behind the camera than I am in front of it. So, but on behalf of our entire team, I want to thank Trish and everyone at the Delaware County Chamber of Commerce for this great honor for Active Image Media. Also, a big thank you to Grant Gegwich and the amazing people at Independence Blue Cross for nominating us for this award. We got to meet many great people throughout the company, either by helping them with their associate video messages or whatever they needed to help them with to communicate from home this past year. It's been quite an opportunity. It's also been a great pleasure to be a small help to them. I'd also like to thank my friend Dan Hilferty and brother-in-law for getting us involved and providing us this great opportunity. Dan is here with us today, and it's last year's Delco Chamber of Commerce Citizens of the Year. So thank you, Dan. I want to thank our team. They are here behind the scenes today, working as always. Somehow I got the day off. We have Jake over there doing our live stream. We have Eric behind the camera, Steve taking the pictures, and Joanne keeping us all together with her great spirit and help. So thank you so much. So we never want to forget our roots. We love the opportunity to work with everybody, but for 43 consecutive years prior to last year, we were the photographer for the Springfield Youth Club and Hilltop Babe Ruth. I wanted to acknowledge Jim Kennedy and Ed Kelly for being here today. Thank you, guys. They are our first and longest consecutive customer up until last year, of course, and hopefully we'll continue that beginning this year. Thanks to all my brothers and sisters that are here joining me today with their constant support. It was 44 years ago, right around this time, that my brother Nick and I were at a Hilltop meeting for baseball, and they were looking for a photographer, and he said to me, "You can do this." All I wanted to be was an umpire. And to my wife, Michelle, thank you for being here, as always. Thank you for putting up with all the crazy hours and weekends, and for all those times when I call you from the car, and the first thing you say to me is, "What did you forget?" So congratulations again to all the award winners. Thanks for having us today, and we look forward to seeing you all soon, and thanks again for coming. Appreciate it.
Congratulations, Mike, and the entire Active Image team. I can't say enough about how grateful we are for your support. I'd now like to introduce Peter Adamo, CEO of Crozier Health and a Chamber Board member, to introduce our next award.
Let me get situated. Hey, everybody. I am so honored to be representing Crozier Health, and my award has to do with the small business family situation. And I can speak of how difficult it is to work with family. I tried it once with my brother. I am no longer working with him. I work for a health system today. So let's get right to what I need to do here. I'm so excited to be here representing the Delaware County Chamber of Commerce, not only as a board member, but a proud member of the entire community here. My business, as you know, is healthcare. My award is going this year to Legacy Sign Company. I apologize for starting off slow, guys. Legacy Sign Company is a family-owned and operated sign company that provides commercial signage for the tri-state area. It's operated by Stephen, Jack Jr., Kelly Protesto, whose 3-year generation family sign experience roots back to 1947. That's quite a time to be working with family. One of its founders, Jack Protesto Sr., started as a hand letterer in the 1970s, working for his parents at Upper Darby Sign Company. Today, Legacy Sign Company is located in Aston, serving clients in Delaware, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. It prides itself on providing excellent service, a commitment to excellence, and a varied product offering. Last year, they were awarded a large sign project for the Delaware County Parks and Recreation Department. It's consisted of over 90 various signs into 5 separate parks, with a firm deadline of only 2 months to design, manufacture, and install all the signs with COVID over their heads. We were all hit very hard by the pandemic, and Legacy Sign wanted to be part of the reopening process for local businesses. At the start of the new year, they graciously offered any businesses affected by COVID a free, now open banner to put on their front store doors. So it is my pleasure, and I need to meet this gentleman and his family because I'm looking for signs right now for the health system. So it's with great honor I present this year's Family Business of the Year Award to Legacy Sign Company. Thank you. Congratulations.
All right, so he said a lot of what I was going to say in this speech, so I'll just get to it. I'd just like to thank the Delaware County Chamber of Commerce for recognizing us as a family business. We are a newer business and we absolutely couldn't do it with our immediate family working side by side every day. I feel a lot of pride receiving this award. I am third generation in the sign industry, and our family's been in it, I believe, since the 40s. Even though we only started our business 5 years ago, we bring that pride and that experience to the local community right now, and it's nice to be recognized and building that customer base right now. Even though, like everyone, 2020 was very uncertain for us, we experienced a year of growth. We hired employees, we got new equipment just to service the area. He already mentioned our big project of the year, so I'll skip that part. And I guess we hope to continue to grow and service Delaware County primarily, and just like to thank you for the award. Thank you.
Congratulations. I'd now like to ask our sponsor, Robin Tilly Hall from Energy Transfer, to join me in recognizing our next award, the Small Business Person of the Year.
Good afternoon. My name is Robin Tilly Hall from Energy Transfer. It's my honor to present the Small Business Person of the Year award to Tom B. Miller of Ed's Auto Body. Ed's Auto Body was actually the very first auto body repair shop in Delaware County, founded back in 1931. In 2016, Tom purchased Ed's Auto Body from Ed Swager III, making it the third shop in his management company for auto repair shops, the Arias Group. Ed's Auto Body is a certified gold class repair shop, the highest rating in the industry. The Arias Group is also very active in supporting the community through sponsorships, first responder discounts, supporting technical schools, and donating to charity. In 2020, not only was there a decline in business by 40% with fewer miles being driven, but in August, they were devastated when Chester Creek flooded. The flood decimated their building and totaled 13 vehicles in the process. Tom led the charge in rebuilding the shop when it felt like there was no use. Claims became overwhelming in a fight to even get 50% of the damages covered. Today, Ed's Auto Body stands with the newest equipment and best technology for repairing modern, complex vehicles. The office also now has a spectacular new customer service center, complete with a refreshment center. Tom's goal is to make Ed's Auto Body the most attractive and customer-friendly repair shop in Delaware County so that he can make life a little better after a traumatic car accident. And from what we can see, he's on his way. It is my honor to present the 2021 Delaware County Chamber Small Business Person of the Year Award to you, Tom B. Miller. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for this award. I'm honored to be recognized as a business leader in the great Delaware County. And like everybody else in this room, I simply took the events of the past year day by day. I did my best to deal with ever-changing circumstances and one challenge after another. I'm only here today because I was fortunate enough to receive help and support from countless people over the past year. They say that behind every great man is a great woman, and I am here to tell you that that is true. My beautiful wife, Jamie, who's here with me today, she has supported me from day one. She picks up my slack at home, she opens our home to my team and my colleagues, and she is responsible for designing the beautiful new office at Ed's Auto Body. I wouldn't be here without her. I also have an amazing team. I wouldn't have made it through without my guys working tirelessly to clean the shop after it flooded and rebuild over the past few months. I wouldn't have made it without numerous contractors and vendors who brought the shop back to life. The folks at Upland Borough who worked with us throughout the project. The Delco Strong Small Business Support Grant, and others who helped rebuild or supported me when I was struggling. I'd be lying if I told you that there were not times in the past year when I wondered if we would survive, times when I wondered if we would make it. But I believe that every experience life brings to us is a gift, that each experience has meaning. Even if you don't understand that gift, if you can trust that the universe is conspiring for your success, then you will find the strength to weather any storm and overcome any obstacle that life brings to you. I've learned that life is not about the destination. It's not about getting to a certain size or making a certain amount of money. Life is about the journey. It's the experiences that we go through each day, the ups and the downs that give life meaning. It's about facing challenges and overcoming seemingly insurmountable obstacles. It's about standing for what you believe in. It's about enjoying the hard work because we are working for something greater than ourselves. The hard times are when we learn what we are capable of. The times when we are stretched, forced to get outside of our comfort zones, pushed beyond our limits. These are the times when we learn and grow the most. So the hard times, in hindsight, are usually the best times because that's when we find out who we are. My goal is to build the best company that anybody can work for, and we are closer to that goal today than we were 12 months ago. And so I am grateful for everything that has happened in the last year, including COVID, including the flood, and every other challenge that we faced and conquered. Because of these experiences, I've become a better leader. I've become a better husband and father. My team has grown and come closer together, and we are a better, stronger business because of it. So I thank you all for your help. I thank you for your support. I thank you for the recognition with this award, and I wish all of you continued success. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Tom. Well deserved. Another strong partnership that we enjoy at the Chamber is the one we have with SCORE. SCORE is a resource partner of the U.S. Small Business Administration, and they offer confidential small business advice and mentoring. And for the past 5 years, we've teamed up with SCORE to honor one of their success stories. I'd like to introduce John Lippman to announce this next award.
Hello, my name is John Lippman, and it's been my pleasure to mentor Carmen Crystal. Carmen is the founder and owner of Vanity Image Studios, with a location in media and plans for expansion. When Carmen and I first met, she was the founder of Pink Stiletto, a company making high pigment cosmetics for Black women. She sold through the internet and a small retail location in Aston. That initial meeting helped Crystal pursue funding to grow that business, but for numerous reasons, she pivoted to her service offerings. When we next met several years later, she was operating from a shared space on the second floor of a nondescript building with no signage. Since then, she's relocated to a storefront on State Street in Media, and her business has done well, is rebounding nicely from the Pennsylvania shutdown. Carmen is full of energy, ideas, and enthusiasm to bring affordable beauty procedures to the population. She listens, asks questions, and takes action. Through our ongoing mentoring sessions, I've helped Crystal stay focused on her goals, so her efforts are directed towards what she really wants, not tangential things that might be nice. To see Carmen have success and overcome difficult personal circumstances has been very gratifying.
Congratulations, if you can join me on the stage.
It is. Huh? Okay.
This year has been a long one. My family and I worked so hard to create Vanity over the course of 3 years. And it was exciting, it was fun, my children watching it grow, and also being able to serve the community. I can't tell you how much I love media. But being able to serve the community there, sponsor events, and being able to contribute to some of the local charitable organizations, those were all very proud moments. During the shutdown, I was scared because after working 15 years in the beauty industry, I was going to watch my dream fade away. And, but I decided that I wasn't going to stop until I had no more left to give. And while we were shut down for 3 months, I pivoted and started offering online beauty services and makeup classes and educating other professionals so they could be prepared when we reopened. It was an honor to be selected as the SCORE business last year, and it is with tremendous gratitude that I'm here today to receive yet another award from the Chamber. I can't thank you guys enough for the recognition that you've shown Vanity, as well as for the webinars that have been sent by the Delaware Chamber of Commerce where we can learn how to pivot and really get through this. I appreciate that very much as a small business owner. And I thank you all for being here today. And of course, you, Delaware County Chamber of Commerce for doing this for me. Thank you.
Congratulations, it's well-deserved for sure. I'd now like to introduce Bill Gowie, partner at Bars, Gowie, Amon and Foltz.
Thank you, Trish. As Trish said, my name is Bill Gowie, and I am a partner at Bars, Gowie, Amon and Foltz. It is an honor to present the Entrepreneur of the Year Award. Opening a business is never an easy task, but opening during the pandemic seems crazy. But Brooke Lambert followed her dreams, faced the unprecedented challenges head on, and opened her first location of Mangoes and More in the spring of 2020. Brooke always knew she wanted to open her own business, but for years she thought it would be a gym. But she was also extremely passionate about healthy and clean eating. As her knowledge of food grew from being a waitress, prepping food, and bartending, Brooke learned that she loved being creative with recipes. After having her first acai bowl in Florida, sorry about that, guys, she knew her love of clean eating, knack for creating recipes, and experience in the food industry was falling into place. She decided to open a smoothie and acai place in order to bring a healthy, delicious, and convenient food option to the area where she grew up. Brooke credits her success to being close to the high school and located right next door to a gym. She plans to open her second location in Ocean City, New Jersey this summer. We are excited for Brooke and for what the future holds for her. It's my honor to present the 2021 Delaware County Chamber Entrepreneur of the Year Award to Brooke Lambert.
Hi everyone, my name's Brooke Lambert. I won Entrepreneur of the Year. This is so exciting. I'm very honored to be here. and grateful to receive this award from Delaware County Chamber of Commerce. But wow, I have not been on a stage in a while. After graduating from Temple University in May 2020, I never had a graduation, so it actually feels like I'm earning my diploma today. So today kind of feels like my graduation. So thank you so much, Delaware County Chamber of Commerce, for hosting this event and for being such a great organization. I wanted to say thank you to my family and friends for supporting me through this journey and helping me succeed, because we all know it takes two to tango at Mangoes. This award means a lot to me. I worked so hard putting the menu together, getting everything ready for the store, the website, training the employees. I never thought I could pull this off during a pandemic. The support from the community was overwhelming. If you don't know what Mangoes and More is, it's a cafe located on Brookline Boulevard in Havertown. It serves a variety of healthy food items, gluten-free, vegan, acai bowls, pitaya bowls, so you gotta come out and try it. If it's a healthier way of life for my customers. They're able to come to Mangoes, order a healthy meal, and leave feeling good about themselves. We need more healthy alternatives in the Delaware County area, and that's just what Mangoes brings to the community. Eat well and be happy. Thank you, everyone. I hope to see you in Ocean City, New Jersey this summer.
Congratulations, Brooke, and I'll speak on behalf of everybody that we can't wait to visit your store in Ocean City and in Havertown as well. Best of luck on your continued growth and success. Now I'd like to introduce Randy Prince from TD Bank.
Thank you, Trish. All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Randy Prince. I'm the Vice President, Small Business Lending at TD Bank, and we're proud to be here to bring up the next honoree. Back in March of 2020, when the world turned upside down, businesses were forced to adapt to a new normal. Being the financial first responders, the Brinker-Simpson team played a critical role in helping clients and non-clients manage through unprecedented disruption and economic slowdown. They transformed their operations, established BrinkerSimpsonCares.com, and used that unique point in time to pivot their focus to help small businesses survive. Brinker-Simpson faced these challenges head on. True to form, their leadership team adjusted with poise. While keeping staff employed, Brinker-Simpson quickly adopted a work-from-home hybrid office approach. Virtual meetings became the new normal. They advanced their desire to serve the community with countless webinars to keep businesses and small business owners informed about the rapidly changing tax laws and financial support options. Brinker-Simpson set themselves to a higher standard over the last year. They made a commitment to help the entire business community, whether they were clients or not. They were able to help small businesses navigate the overwhelming world of funding. I'm sure they will never have a full grasp on the impact that they made to the entire Delaware County business community, but we are honored to acknowledge their tireless work. Congratulations to Brinker-Simpson team on being named the Delaware County Chamber Pivoting Business of the Year. Please join us up on stage.
Thank you very much, and thank you to Trish and the Chamber. I've been a member of the Chamber since 1989, and that's the year I formed our company, so I know Active Image has been in business longer than us, and I'm sure Mike's a lot older than I am. So, but one of the things he mentioned, I see his brothers here, was Hilltop Babe Ruth, and I was that idiot that became the head of the umpires at Hilltop Babe Ruth, and I'll just tell you that one of your brothers, who I haven't seen in a while, is here today, and we had some active images, we'll call that, while I was the umpire. But that's what's great about Delaware County and the Chamber and just the Delaware County area in general, is that everybody in the room here is related somehow, some way. Everybody's done business together. The beauty of the chamber that I always say is that no matter what events you come to, no matter how much work you do at the chamber, the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. And I can just walk around the room and see how many people our company does business with. And thank you for the award. We certainly don't do things to win awards, but awards are nice for our team. And it is a team award. I'll tell you that on March 13th, 2020, all of the people that are sitting at my table were laid off that day. And on March 14th, 2020, we asked them all to come to work and we helped them prepare their unemployment applications because Governor Wolf had closed our business on the 13th. On March 15th, 2020, we got the call that Governor changed his mind and named us an essential business and we could go back to work. So imagine the glee in trying to bring back 45 people who you just laid off 2 days ago and you know, in 30 some years of business, I never laid anybody off in 30 years of business, never had to. And I had 45 people looking at me as I announced that we were closing that day. So imagine the emotions that went through their minds at the same time. And then 2 days later, you had to call all those people and tell them that we're reopened, you got to come back. And it just began what became the year plus of, I won't curse, I'll use transition. It was a transition year. And it was a very difficult year for everybody, including us. But one thing we did recognize was that the government came to bat, and the government was ready to help small businesses get through this. We recognized really early that the PPP program was something that was really going to benefit small businesses. The government was giving away money. Well, back then it was a loan, if everybody remembers. They were lending money to companies, and you could pay the money back with 1%, and of course, then they figured out a way that you didn't have to pay them back, and then they figured out a way it didn't have to be taxed. So the government just kind of gave us money to stay in business. And then they created all these other acronyms of programs that we learned would benefit companies, and that somebody had to be on top of this, and we did create a team to stay on top of that. All the while that we did that, our employees had to deal with the same things that everybody else had to deal with. Their kids were sent home from school. They got COVID. We had sick people in the office. We closed our offices. Their families were sick. There were all kinds of challenges that they had to deal with, but at the same time, they all created this mission that we were very, very comfortable with, and the mission was, let's go help small businesses. We had a webinar back in April of 2020, and the webinar had 21 people on it. And we had a webinar in March of 2021, and that webinar had 409 people on it. So that just tells you how many people we could impact just trying to educate people going forward. There's so much more coming out as well. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, when will the pandemic end as far as economic help for companies? And I said, well, when somebody decides to stop giving out money, and I don't know when that is because there's all kinds of talk of new money coming out. And then they asked me that terrible question that everybody sitting here is asking himself is, well, how are they going to pay all that back? Well, we haven't quite figured that out yet, but we figure that's probably another good 3 years of business for us. Plus the new administration has decided to change the tax law. These are just great times for accounting firms. But it's a group award, and our team came to play. They really did. Not only did we get involved with helping small business, but at the same time, we kept our community service work uninterrupted. We had a food drive that filled the office with food that we took to 7 or 8 different food banks around Delaware County. Of course, we made a contest. Of course, we had people who cheated. Of course, we had winners and losers, but that all made it fun. Some of the cheaters are at the table, that's why I had to say that. But it was important. We tried to make business as usual. We really did. And I don't think anybody in the room can say business was as usual as it was in 2020. But thanks again to the Chamber, and thanks again to our team, and thank you for everybody. Isn't it great to be in this room, to have people all the way to the back of this room? Great to be back.
So as you can imagine, Bob was not the winner of that food drive. And Shannon Delaney, who's actually our accountant at the Chamber, Shannon was the one that won, so Shannon did not cheat, Bob. Anyway, moving along, I'd now like to introduce our Business Association of the Year Award and Steve Byrne, the Executive Director of Destination Delco, to present it.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Steve Byrne, Delaware County Chamber of Commerce Board Member and Executive Director of Visit Delco, PA, the official tourism promotion agency of Delaware County. It is my honor to introduce the 2021 Business Association of the Year. The Wayne Business Association has been supporting businesses and promoting Wayne to the community for more than 80 years. The mission is, and always has been, connecting commerce and community. It is a highly active association with an average of 200 businesses and nonprofit members. Pre-pandemic, the WBA hosted popular events such as the annual Radnor Fall Festival and Christmas in Wayne, which drew thousands from the local community and gave businesses a chance to promote their products or services to a wider audience. They also host monthly networking meetings for members to build relationships and grow their business. Other initiatives the WBA works on, alongside other community organizations and Radnor Township representatives, are beautification projects, updates to parking areas, as well as restoration of historical markers. In 2020, the Wayne Business Association worked closely with the Board of Commissioners, Township Manager, and Police Department to install a tent from June through the end of the year to support the restaurants and merchants in the business district. This allowed an open space for the community to gather safely. It was truly a business saver. Modified events were able to be hosted at the tent, such as Wayne Trick or Treat and physically distanced Santa photos. The support the Wayne Business Association provided to the businesses has been invaluable. It is my pleasure to present the Wayne Business Association with this award. Congratulations.
I see Deanna about 3 times a week on Zooms, but it's his first time in person in quite some time, so in a year, right?
Nice to see you in person. Thank you.
I'll put this on.
Okay, do I take my picture now? Feels weird to smile with my mask on. Okay, now I can smile without my mask on. First of all, as they said, my name's Deanna Doan, and I'm the very proud president of the Wayne Business Association. And I can't tell you how excited we are to be here in person and look out at people not on a screen. And we're really honored to be the Business Association of the Year. I want to thank Trish, Jacqueline, and Jessica, first of all, and their team for all that they have done over the last year to support organizations like ours. Because of their diligence, we were able to, as the WBA, to share information to our members through a very trying year. We're so proud to support the Chamber and look forward to continuing partnering with them on many events in the future. As Steve mentioned, we have been in existence for over 80 years. And while I've only been a part of it for about 10, I know that the enduring legacy of the organization is that we have strong support from our member businesses, nonprofits, as well as a great relationship with Radnor Township and the community at large. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the hard work of our board and our officers of the organization, 4 of which are with me here today: our Vice President, Mike Liebert, Secretary Claire Gerton, board members Reed Taylor and Greg Basil, and there's an honorary board member, my husband, Brent Doan, who supports all the time I put into the WBA. As Steve mentioned, we did a lot in the last year to help promote our businesses through a very trying time. From putting that tent up that I think everyone in every other town is jealous of, we were able to have physically distanced events, the live music, and it really, if you ask the restaurants and merchants, it literally changed their business last year because we had that. Excuse me. We serve as a source of information for our members and community, and we act as a conduit to the township and commissioners and work to make things happen, like, as Steve said, business building, beautification, and community involvement. I dare say that we have something to say about parking, but I won't go there. If anybody's ever been to Wayne, you know what I'm talking about. Overall, we are a group of people who own businesses, are involved in the community, and are altruistic at heart. We want to see everyone succeed and bring attention to what a special place Wayne is to do business. We really hope that you'll take a ride to the northwest corner of Delaware County and visit Wayne for shopping, dining, and maybe even a little staycation. And if you do, I would love to show you around. Congratulations to all the award recipients, because All of you are what make Delaware County doing business here and living here such a special place. Thank you so much for this honor. It truly makes all the hard work worth it. Thank you so much.
Congratulations to all of my friends from the Wayne Business Association. So now that you've heard how these small businesses have started and grown, we are happy to bring you some remarks from Todd Carmichael. As I mentioned earlier, we've had some last-minute changes today. Some exciting things are happening at La Colombe that we will be able to share in the upcoming weeks, but that means that Todd couldn't join us in person today. So I want to thank the Active Image team and Jake for the last-minute changes, and we're able to bring you some remarks today. And to introduce Todd, I'm going to ask Lou from Comcast to come up and join.
Thank you, Trish. And thank you, everybody. This is an honor following up some business owners, entrepreneurs, and really just great-hearted individuals today. It's very difficult to follow some of those conversations up, but I'll try my best. Good afternoon. My name is Lou Parisi. I'm actually the sales manager for PA, Jersey, Delaware on the Comcast business side, and I'm ecstatic to be here and obviously introduce Todd today as a keynote speaker. We've had an outstanding and long-standing relationship with the Delaware County Chamber of Commerce. I personally have worked closely with them over the past couple of years now, and we've done some really great things. And over the past year, that partnership has allowed us at Comcast to really help and dig in with a lot of small business owners and help where we could and adapt and pivot. With that being said, at Comcast, we provide advanced communication solutions that allow our business customers to stay connected to the internet, connected to data centers, their customers, suppliers, and the ever more common remote work from home individuals that most of us probably have been. So getting out of the house today was amazing, and going to my first in-person event was awesome. So I know we've already clapped to that 1,000 times. I do wish Todd the best. If you've seen his interview, hopefully these outstanding things that he's doing do not include escaping from capture again. In Colombia, I believe there was an interview before where, I'll tell you, if I can escape from my house with twins, he can definitely do the best and get out. But without further ado, let me introduce him and let you know what I've learned and some outstanding remarks here. At the age of 17, Todd Carmichael left the farms of Eastern Washington with a box of clothes, $200, and an unrelenting drive for adventure. Today, he sits on top of one of the most celebrated and fastest growing coffee companies in the country, La Colombe. There, he has navigated the company from an unlikely bootstrap startup in 1994 to a fully integrated, fully realized 5-category business with an estimated value of over $1 billion. Today, La Colombe provides coffee to the best cafes, hotels, restaurants, and retailers around the world. In addition to owning and operating as well 34 cafes through Philadelphia, New York, Chicago, Boston, LA, Washington, D.C., and many more. In addition to the business itself, because he has free time on top of that, he's also taken on some pretty adventurous activities around the world, crossing some of the Earth's major deserts himself, as well as trekking solo across Antarctica to the South Pole, earning a world record along the way. I can only imagine the conversations that go into that. Most recently, Todd is engaged in shaping civic dialogue at every level. He is using his voice as a business leader to affect policy and make the world a better place. Todd has been awarded Esquire Magazine's American of the Year, Philadelphia Magazine's Person of the Year, and one of Fatherly Magazine's coolest dads in the world. Pretty neat. He's been ranked #1 by Food Republic for the most influential figure in the Coffee Power Rankings. And for 2 years, he hosted his own television show, which was called Dangerous Grounds on the Travel Channel, where he risked his life in search of the best coffee in the world. Pretty amazing stuff here. It is my pleasure to introduce, digitally, Todd Carmichael.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the co-owner and founder of La Colombe, Mr. Todd Carmichael.
Wow.
I guess the first thing, did anyone get an opportunity to try that stuff called draft latte in the tent back there? Draft latte. Here's a little secret about that particular batch of draft latte. It was created in my mind on an airplane when thinking about, we're trying to challenge myself in thinking of new ways to combine these ancient products of milk and coffee, and that's the outcome. That particular batch, I wanted to make a point, came from a beverage can. Those were emptied beverage cans in a draft can and then served through the tap. So I want to make sure you tried that. Now, the next thing is I made notes because I'm famous for getting lost and getting in the weeds and running over time. So I'd like to keep it a little tight because I know that you're all very professional, as I am. I see that I have a countdown clock, which might mean that something is going to explode in 19 minutes and 30 seconds. What I'd like to talk about today is a big one for me. David, who is, in a lot of ways, he doesn't realize this, my mentor, and almost the kind of running dialogue of my life for the last 22 years since I chose Philadelphia to start my business, and that is the man behind Philadelphia Magazine. And so I started thinking of the topics that I'd like to share. I thought, you know what, I'm going to take out that big one. There's one that I've been waiting for to pull off the shelf for a long, long time. And it's a lot about challenge and adventure. I'm famous for doing nutty things, like I was the first guy to ever walk from trek quickly from the coast of Antarctica to the South Pole. I've crossed deserts. I drifted for years in the South Pacific. And this is more than just an adventure like that. This is life's challenge. And it's not just mine. I guess I'm going to draw you into this one. It's ours, our challenge. There were times in my life I thought I was facing my life's challenge, but most of the time, can I take this jacket off now? I promised David I'd wear a jacket. Can we check that? That's one checked off. Thank you very much. I told you I could carry it off. Who's got 2 thumbs and wearing a dove on his back? This guy. But often those were just kind of like survival episodes, like drifting in the South Pacific. The carryaway or the takeaway from the South Pacific, it's a really frickin' big place. And the currents aren't as predictable as you think. It could be frozen alone in Antarctica. It could be way, way higher than I should be up on top of mountains. It could be looking down the barrel of a gun. But pretty much survival episodes aren't the challenge of your life. Those are just moments that require, a lot of focus, right? And then you calm down a little bit and you have a big piece of luck. I thought my life's big challenge was going to be my little startup, my life startup, my big work. But you know what? Ultimately, the startup felt a little bit like survival. There's a lot of anxiety involved in it. There's a lot of, sheer exhaustion. But ultimately, eventually, you end up in some normal place. And life is normal. Even if you're growing at 40 or 50 or 60%, it kind of feels kind of normal. It was a couple years ago, and I was in a classroom, a business class, and someone asked the question. Saul Bellows said that truth comes in blows. I don't agree. I think truth comes in unfiltered moments. And I have a lot of those moments, actually, so I must be a terribly honest person. And this person asked me the same question I'd heard over and over again. Todd, what was the biggest hurdle you faced in starting this company as a little seed and growing it to where it is today? Recently, we kind of passed that kind of $250 million kind of cap region, so now we're kind of going to stick around for a while, kind of size company. And I was going to say, like supply chain, getting coffee out of Rwanda, it was like attracting new people. Instead, I leaned forward on the mic and I said, the biggest challenge? Me. I'm the biggest challenge. And in that way, you are. The biggest challenge in your life is really going to be you. And that wouldn't be the case if stuff didn't evolve so fast. If it was a stagnant environment and it wasn't very competitive, it wasn't very kinetic, then that wouldn't really be your biggest challenge. But take a look outside. Well, you guys know, the young people know, things are changing so fast, we can't even use the word evolve anymore. It's revolve, it's revolution. I know it's that case in my sector. My sector is food. Food, I love food. Now, why, food, well, you see, coffee is a seed, it's a roasted seed. And it kind of belongs, it's like a sub-universe within this larger galaxy, which is called food. And food is changing. It's changing so fast that we can call it a revolution. Look around. Let me put it this way. The companies that fed my parents, and when I say feed, keep in mind, this is a big bandwidth here. We pull 1 trillion pounds of food off grocery store shelves every year in this country. 1 trillion. I mean, it makes me nauseous thinking of the word trillion. Add 3 zeros, I don't even know what we call that, right? That's how big 1 trillion pounds of food is. And the companies that served my parents in one generation with me in the middle will not feed my children. That is a revolution. That's not evolution. That is an upheaval. And this is where I believe the biggest opportunities for us as a city, for you as a person, for my company, can be harvested. It's in revolutionary times that advantage can best be found. And often, sometimes those revolutions are so kind of like big and wide that we don't even recognize them. And they're happening in medicine, it's happening in energy, but it's definitely happening in that one thing that every Homo sapien needs to have to continue the next day, and that's in food. I gotta check my notes to make sure I'm not off track, because I'm starting to get excited. So you're probably gonna say, oh, Todd, you're like Neil Young, you know, you're like the old guy to the hipsters. You inspired all these mustaches. And you probably are gonna say things like, yeah, because they're big companies. Like I'm the enemy of big or something. I'm not the enemy of big. You know what? But big is a liability. It's a real big liability because you see, in order to be a revolutionary, in order to be a leader, you gotta have 2 things. You know, you gotta have vision, which a lot of these companies have. I look pretty good in that photo, actually. And you gotta have values. You see, that value bit is a tough thing to hold on to when things get big or bigger. The point is, we've heard this sentence, you know, too big to fail. Well, I think that a lot of times, particularly in food, and why these companies are being left behind, and why they'll only feed my father and my mother, not my children, is that they're too big to lead. They've forgotten what it's like to be a revolutionary leader, to charge out into the future in that space-time continuum that we don't know what it looks like, and really truly lead with values. I mean, if your company values transportability and shelf life over nutrition, you're probably too big to lead. If your company values sensory manipulation and high-end chemistry over naturally tasting, you're probably too big to lead. If your company values private labeling and co-packing over making and doing, you're probably too big to lead. Philadelphia has a lot to earn and to actually participate in this environment. The reason I think so is because Philadelphia, well, how about this? For the same reasons I came here. I mean, guys, check it. I lived on a beautiful wooden sailing boat in the south of France before I came here. Right? I picked this city, and I chose it. Amazing, right? What was I thinking? You know, I picked it, well, there's the practical reasons. I mean, I had to find a city of 3 or 4 million people on the East Coast, you know, with certain supply chains, but mostly, I needed to find one that had a beautiful piece of property that would lease it to a guy like me with no credit, no history, just out of the blue, great suntan.
So being a good leader and learning how to pivot is to know not to lose your audience. So we are really appreciative of La Colombe Coffee for sponsoring this today and offering the remarks from Todd, and also for giving everybody the iced coffee. So before you leave today, make sure you grab some iced coffee that's in the back. It's on ice. And I want to thank everybody for joining us today. I want to thank you for joining us to celebrate, and make sure you grab some of the coffee on your way out from La Colombe, and we'll look forward to hearing their great news in the next coming weeks. And we truly appreciate your continued support of the Chamber. Enjoy this beautiful weather today and have a fantastic afternoon. Thank you so much.